Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm actually making this video outside at work and it's raining. So if you hear the wind moving, if you hear some cars, just know I'm outside, and that is not going to stop me from making this video. And today we're going to talk about why Hansi Flick actually substituted Robert Lewandowski for Ferran Torres, which was a bold move. I don't think Xavi would have done this. Xavi would have actually kept Lewandowski on and just put Ferran to the left. And there's a reason why Flick did it. As always, do subscribe to the channel, but let's get right into the video. I do believe that the first reason why Ferran actually came on for Robert Lewandowski is that Hansi Flick wanted to tighten up defensively. What do I mean by that? Because you don't need Lamine and Rafinha, or Fermin in that case, to let Ferran sit on the defensive midfielder. He can actually lead the press and he can run a lot more than Robert Lewandowski, and he's actually the guy that can force the opposition to one side. So now you have Lamine Yamal who can focus on the wider areas. Now you can have Olmo and Pedri coming out a lot more. So that is why he was bringing him on, because he wanted to make us defensively better and defensively sound in this crucial phases of the game, because he can lead the press along with Lamine Yamal. They are very good and very fast as well, and Ferran is not somebody that stops running. He runs constantly, so he actually made the press better, and I actually touched on this in a previous video. So Ferran does make Barcelona's press a lot better because he runs a lot more, and he doesn't like Lewandowski, for example, he actually commands a lot more from these guys, because they have to do a lot more pressing when Robert Lewandowski is there. But with Ferran, the ball is, there's so much more pressure and so much more running with Ferran Torres up front. And again, guys, I'm not bashing Lewandowski here. We just need to be honest with ourselves. He's 36 years old. He cannot run like Ferran does. And of course, he scores a lot more goals than Ferran, and Ferran often wastes chances. But I mean, come on. The press is going to be better with Ferran Torres, and he presses the goalkeeper even. So we need to really assess here, and this is why Flick brought this guy on, to make our press better. But now, what I'm going to say next might sound incredibly wild to you guys, right? But I think we are past the point now with Hansi Flick that we really need Robert Lewandowski and his goals, right? Because that is why Flick had the balls to take him off in a time where Barcelona really needed goals. Because Lewandowski is a great goal scorer. I mean, he can get around anywhere here and score goals. He can score the goals. But sometimes when you need him to do something else, he cannot really do that. Because, for example, the times where Casado and Pedri has to operate a little bit deeper, Ferran can come in and actually close down that space when you need him to. He can be that extra option and actually create an overload where nobody can really follow him, and then you have these guys that runs in behind, right? That is what Ferran Torres brings you, where Robert Lewandowski would simply be around the area and wait for the ball to get in here where he wants to score. But with Ferran, you don't need him to only be that one-dimensional like Robert Lewandowski. And this is what Barcelona needed, right? And you can also expect Ferran to be like a poacher. That second goal that he scored was a real poacher's goal that you expect from a Robert Lewandowski off of a rebound, right? He can run into that box and do the same thing. Now, I do believe that if with the quality chances that Barcelona create, Ferran Torres can become a lethal goal scorer. And I said that in the previous video, and one of you guys actually acknowledged that my prediction was right. If Ferran can really just take this opportunity and be on target constantly, he can be lethal for Barcelona. And he offers more than what Robert Lewandowski provides for you, because he is really only becoming alive around this area right here. And he also have great hold-up play. But Ferran Torres can drop in here. He can help out. He can create overloads. He can also do what Lewandowski does. Maybe his finishing is not that great, but I mean, come on. Ferran has potential, guys. And Flick, this is why I'm saying that Flick had the balls to actually take him off for Robert Lewandowski and put Ferran on, because it was 1-1, right? So let me know what you think about this, though. But I can already see a lot of you guys not agreeing with me, you know. I think we struggle to look objectively at things, you know, trying to look at the facts and what's actually being provided to us. And I can see a lot of you guys disagreeing with me. But if Hansi Flick has the balls to substitute somebody like Lewandowski in a time when you need goals, that says a lot. Because Ferran is always moving, and this is what Barcelona needed. Flick saw it. We need a player like Ferran for the verticality more than we need Robert Lewandowski, purely to the fact that he's more mobile. So it's like a false nine that Ferran was playing, and he can push back a backline. Don't make a mistake about that. He can push back a backline if he wants to and if he needs to. But he just provides more for Barcelona in these areas, and he's also able to move when he needs to. The third reason why I believe that Flick brought on Ferran in this game is because of simply brilliant game management from Flick. Because he knew that Dortmund started believing that they would actually be able to win this game from Barcelona, meaning they would push higher and higher and ultimately become open, meaning that Barcelona, if we want to be lethal on the transition, and also the fact that we had Fermin and not Rafinha, he needed somebody that was going to be able to transition with Lamine Yamal. And this is where Ferran Torres comes in, because Robert Lewandowski cannot transition with those guys. That's mainly why you see Ferran and Rafinha and Lamine Yamal is scoring these counter-attacking goals, because even if the first goal where Rafinha got through, Robert Lewandowski was nowhere near where those other guys were. And like I said, the fact that Rafinha was not on, he was I think a calf injury. That's why he brought Ferran on. He needed somebody that was going to be able to transition with Lamine Yamal, and Rafinha literally scored because of that. So that was absolutely sensational. You know, I've been watching this second half now for 2 days now, and everything that Flick did came off for Barcelona. It came off because he knows that, Rafinha's not on, so who's going to be able to transition with Lamine Yamal, because Dortmund was going to push forward and push more players forward and forward and forward. So who's going to be able to transition with Lamine Yamal? And that was Ferran Torres, and he actually scored a goal like that with Lamine and with Pedri as well. What a drive from Pedri, by the way. So I think that is why Ferran was substituted on in place of Robert Lewandowski. I want you to look at this frame right here, how Ferran is running ahead of Lamine Yamal and how he's creating space for him to move in. Because that centre back now has to focus on the run of Ferran, right? Focus on the run of Ferran, right? And also the option to Frankie de Jong. But look at this right here. Pedri is going to get this ball now. The ball is bouncing and Barcelona's on the transition, right? And look how deep Ferran is actually coming from a defensive position, right? He's running back. And I want you guys to be really honest with me. Look how Ferran is making it. Do you think Robert Lewandowski would have made that? Now let's say, for an example, that was Lewandowski running. Do you think Barcelona would have scored that goal? I want you to comment goal if you think Lewandowski would have scored or would have been able to keep up, or comment no goal if you don't think so. And this is small details, guys. And look at the coldness of Ferran to have the confidence to finish this off. And this is the type of managers that we need, man. And I do think now that Flick is a better option than Xavi. I'm really it's touching my heart to be able to admit this, but I'm seeing now, how did Flick know that I'm going to take Lewandowski off and put Ferran? And Ferran scored 2 goals. He scored 2 goals. He literally saved the game for Barcelona. He literally saved the game for us. And I do think you need experienced managers to be able to do this, right? And a lot of people are talking about Dortmund should have won this game. We should have scored like 6-7 goals. However, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe as always, guys. We upload weekly Barcelona content. Thank you very much for watching this video.